What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition. Chest. How much you bench, bro? How much you bench? A lot of questions come up. What's the best way to bench press? You got incline, where you push up a slight incline. Do you do flat bench? Or do you do decline, where you're literally laying at a downward angle with your head facing down and pressing up, which has a limited range of motion compared to the other pressing. But I'll get into the fact that scientifically speaking, if you're trying to target the pectorals, that would be the best. However, we're not speaking science here today. We're going to speak anecdote, and we're also going to go in, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. My thoughts are based on years of training, applying to clients, and also to research. So my opinions are my opinions. However, they are based on research. If you're looking for someone to quote data on every single thing I do, this isn't the place for you. Anyway, check it out. So I'll go over my preference and why I do it. Now, my best lift, even when I was a power lifter, my best lifts were deadlift and bench press. But considering I have really long arms for my frame, I was always good at the bench press. Bench press was my lift. I was lifting near 500 pounds by the age of 20. I could rep probably 5 plates on each side, which is 495 right now if I wanted to. However, what I have found is over the years, as I get older and wear and tear kicks in, every time I get above around 455, I strain this muscle right here, or this tendon right here. Now, the problem is, I've done everything. I've consulted with the best movement specialist. I've consulted with Nate Baxter, who is, I believe, still the world record holder in Australia in the bench press. Third place at the Arnold Bench Press Championships a few years ago. I've consulted with Dr. Stu. I've done training with Mark Bell. And I've done everything to bring my elbows in. I've done everything to activate my lats. At the end of the day, for some reason, no matter how much I pay attention to form, even when I wear a slingshot, that last time I strained my pec right here about a year ago, I was wearing a slingshot, I ended up straining my pec. However, I have found that with dumbbells, being that I'm able to have that neutral grip with being able to turn my hands and not just to bend the bar with your pinkies, I do not get the injury risk. So I'm able to do 150, 160, 170, 180 pound dumbbells on bench press without the injury risk. I will argue that due to the increased range of motion, dumbbell bench press is actually more advantageous to hypertrophy because of all the assistance muscles built in. You need to make sure that, well, you don't go forward, you don't go backward, you don't go out this way or that way, where a barbell's fixed, dumbbells unilateral. So you have more assistance muscles working when you do a dumbbell bench press, which is why, unless you're powerlifting, unless you need the bench press to qualify for things like my kids do it for sport, because the bench press, like it or not, is a qualifier for a lot of strength tests. I like dumbbells. I prefer dumbbells. Now, you'll see a lot of good bros at the gym saying that incline bench press will work more of your upper chest. Now, I go over this in my Instagram story. My Instagram is at Marc Lobliner. I do a story with live Q&As every day. Well, live meaning I read the questions, I answer them right there. Whereas your body just knows pushing and force and pressure. And there is no upper, middle, and lower chest. There's your pectoralis minor and your pectoralis major. Now, neither of those dictate if it's upper, middle, or lower. Essentially what I'm saying is, sure, you can activate more muscles in an area on your chest, but at the end of the day, if you're pushing out, you are activating your chest, you're activating your lats, you're activating your triceps. All of those muscles need to be activated. So the semantics of incline versus flat versus decline are decently irrelevant in my opinion, because as long as, again, my opinion, you're pushing out, you are doing what your body needs. Now, with incline, I'd even argue that your front delts, being that you're going at almost a military press angle, depending on the angle of the bench, you're actually going to activate more front delts. For someone like me, who is very delt heavy, I am very, very, very delt favoring. I will actually take over with the delts. It'll take my chest out of the movement, whereas if I do this, it takes my deltoid slightly out of the movement. Now, according to EMG studies, according to studies that have been done on muscle activation, out of incline, decline, and flat bench, decline actually activates the most chest muscle out of any of the 3 movements, incline, flat, or decline. However, that one of those reasons could be the decreased range of motion. On a decline bench press, you're coming to here, you're coming further out here, coming further out here. A decline, you're coming very, very close. It's almost like putting an arch in your back, you know, when people raise their butt or arch their back greatly in powerlifting during the bench press. So scientifically speaking, the decline bench press is the best for chest activation. However, we can't look at muscle as a study. We can't look at it in a vacuum. We have to look at the overall big picture and put in some common sense and real world application. If you like doing the barbell bench press and you do not have a history or any indications that a delt or a tendon injury along this plane are going to be an issue, by all means, utilize the barbell bench press. If you want to go into powerlifting, whatever, you have to barbell bench press. If you are a bodybuilder who wants to minimize the risk of injury and wants to stimulate the most hypertrophy, it is my opinion that the flat dumbbell bench press, my opinion, and most people will probably disagree, and I'm good with that. The flat dumbbell bench press has shown, in my opinion, to be the most advantageous. If you have weak delts, let's say your delts slope down, whatever, and your upper chest, hence, looks a bit weak because of it, that's where you can apply an incline bench press or an incline dumbbell bench press, because if you're like me who's very delt heavy, your delts, even if they do pick up a lot of the slack, your delts suck anyway. So the extra activation and extra growth in your delts will probably be a welcome problem. I don't like decline press for one simple reason personally. And that's because when I lay down my head at an angle, I tend to have blood rush to my head. I just don't feel right. It just doesn't feel good. The angle that you're at on the decline. A lot of people don't get that. If you want to stimulate the most and get the most bang for your buck, and really stimulate your chest and maybe cut down on volume, decline press might be just for you. But for a vast majority of the population watching this video, I think that for you, the flat dumbbell bench press, if you had to choose, will be the best. However, there are many options with training now. Many different pieces of equipment that'll help you drastically in reaching your goals. For example, if you do, let's say, a flat dumbbell bench press, you could do an incline hammer press. Hammer Strength Base creates machines. Cybex, Life Fitness, they all make really great machines. You can augment and use different angles. They make machines that emulate a decline press, however you're sitting up, so you don't have the blood rushing. So the bottom line is you don't have to choose. But if you want an explanation from my standpoint on which is best, if you had to choose, flat dumbbell bench press. Anyway, guys, that's what I think. I'm going to link an article down below to my Big 5 program. My Big 5 program, you can use whatever press you want. I personally use the dumbbell bench press. You can substitute the bench press with a barbell, with a dumbbell, with an incline, whatever you want to do. But click on that link down below. Appreciate you watching. Of course, like, share, comment down below on what your thoughts are and what works best for you. Because obviously the comments will help people reach their goals. I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game.